Alright guys, let's go ahead and do a message for my cancers out there, or Cancer cross-watcher. You can also reverse this if you need to. This could even be happening to someone on the outside of you dealing with another. But basically what I think this is that someone here, it's like they're ready to talk now, or they're ready to show you something, tell you something, reveal something to you, or reveal something, period. And if it's not reveal something to you, or tell you something, it could be something that they are just now becoming aware of themselves. It's probably some type of feelings, okay, unless this is you could just now becoming aware of feelings, something like that. The reason I think that is because there's too many things. Well, one, I keep having to skip over your video. I did do a video for you yesterday and I accidentally deleted it out of my phone. So there's that. I have to start all over. So I started complete clean slate. I don't even remember the video. So this is completely new, unless it has anything to do with yesterday. I don't even remember. So there's that. It's almost like if anyone could avoid telling something here, or avoid their feelings here, or avoid being open with another about how they feel, if they were aware of how they feel, they've definitely done that. And something else that's been standing out to me is something to do with barriers. There's definitely been a barrier up. A barrier, like a fence, or an actual barrier up. Barrier as in long distance, or a wall, a shield someone has built around themselves. And I know that because I was going through my phone kind of clearing out the videos and I thought I had erased this, but last week or 2 weeks ago I was trying to record outside because I really wanted to be outside, and there was this little boy. I couldn't see him, but I could hear him jumping on his trampoline in his yard, and he was just belting it. I'm talking, this little boy can sing. He was probably like, the only reason I know it's a little boy is because my parents told me, oh, it's probably the neighbor's boy, that their grandchild. And I'm like, oh well, some little kid itching. So some little kid out there just singing. I'm talking, so I have the clip. I'll put it up here. Maybe I should put it in a spot where you guys can like actually hear him. Anyway, I was recording and trying to do a video, and I caught him in the background, just like something to do with every beat of my heart. Anyway, long story short, I thought I took the clip out of my phone, but I didn't, so you can hear him in the background. So there was that. Like, we couldn't see each other, but there was like a barrier, right? But I could still hear him. Like, I knew he was there. A barrier could also be the internet, like a device, having a phone or a computer, a device to see someone but not physically be there in the physical. So that's a barrier, right? Because you can see them, but you can't necessarily be in front of them. Something like that. There has definitely been a barrier, whether it's a self-inflicted barrier, someone themselves has placed a barrier between you and them, or, oh, I'm looking at my daughter's homework over there. We need to finish that. She has homework and we need to finish that. I forgot. Don't let me forget that. Hold on. Sorry, sidetrack. Yeah, if this person's a parent, this is just a side note here, they stay on top of their child's schoolwork. It's very important to them. Or their child is very studious, stays on top of their schoolwork. Or someone here may have been really on top of their schoolwork. Or maybe someone wasn't on top of their schoolwork, but they make sure their grandkids are, or their kids are. I don't know. Someone doing schoolwork here. Okay, hold on. Or like how someone was in school or wasn't in school. Maybe they weren't in school, or maybe they really were. I don't know. Hold on. 1 second. This ADD or ADHD kicking in. Finish homework together later. Note to self. Alright, let me forget that. Alright, barrier. So, oh yeah, whether or not someone here has kept a barrier up on purpose, intentionally, or they just didn't realize their feelings or something here, they're coming down. Yeah, they're definitely coming down. So, the thing is, though, Well, I don't know. I don't know what the thing is. But someone's barriers, someone's walls are coming down. I feel two scenarios. I feel that some may reach out and say something. A lot of you, this is romantic. I feel it stronger than anything. Some of you, this will be maybe a family member, something like that, an old friend from way back when, a first love or something. Or, you know, I also feel it strongly that this is maybe not someone who's going to say anything just yet to you, vice versa, if this is just you feeling this, but more so realizing it to themselves, where it's kind of like, oh my God, I really miss this person, like reminiscing about a time when someone had their barriers down, when there were no barriers. Reminiscing about how things used to be. If this is someone you are with right now, especially if you've been with them a long time, they may be reminiscing, vice versa, about how things used to be when the two of you weren't where y'all are right now. So something must have happened to get y'all to where you are right now in the relationship, whatever that means. Whereas before, earlier on in the relationship, it was way different. We were much more open. There were no walls or barriers up. We were very different, you know. If this is an ex, for sure, you've got someone reminiscing about you. You could be the one reminiscing. You could be reminiscing about each other. Yeah, something like that. Unless, again, this is someone on the outside of you. They could be going through this with another, or another could be thinking this about them. So, yeah. Barrier. What else was it I said? Reminiscing. How do you spell that? Reminiscing about a time. I'm hearing, do you remember a time? Something to do with Michael? What is that song? Do you remember? Michael Jackson. The song's called Remember the Time. Do you remember the time when we fell in love? There you go. Do you remember the time when we first met, girl? Some of you, this was in school or college, or I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. It doesn't have to be super long ago. It's just basically someone's thinking about it themselves, remembering when they met you, wondering if you think about it, vice versa. Or they're going to straight up ask you, hey, you remember? Like, you know? Or it could be a relationship. A lot of you, I don't feel this is anyone in a relationship right now, but if so, it could be. Someone's missing how the relationship used to be, okay? Or it could even be reminiscing about a relationship they once were in, or you could be. But for the most part, I feel like this is someone who's reminiscing about you who's not with you right now. Not in the physical, because there's a barrier. When we fell in love, we were young and innocent then. See? You see? Do you remember how it all began? It just seemed like heaven, so why did it end? Some of you also, this is someone who may be wondering why things like didn't really work out with you, because they look back and think, now this is super specific, guys. Some of you, somebody's thinking back and they're like, we would have been married so and so long, this many years by now, had we stayed together. Or we, like, whether you married him or not, could have been like a high school sweetheart, college sweetheart, first love, first kiss, first, you know what, whatever. That's just, for some of you, that's very specific. It's like, you know, or it could be something like, it's somebody where I just feel you're not with them right now. We'll just say it like that. I don't know how far it got. I don't know if it ever even went anywhere, but someone's reminiscing. Oh God, my back is killing me. And someone's got some aches and pains, back issues. It's probably because y'all getting older, because I'm getting older and I'm hurting. Like every day I'm like, damn, what the hell? What, just, ugh. And I wish, I really, really, really wish, I'm tired. I was up with a really sick grand doggy last night. My grand dog was sick, and so we had to take her to the vet this morning, and she's had to get a little IV or whatever. Yeah, so I'm actually tired, and I was already tired. Yeah, see, there's that. You get tired when you get older. You got all these aches and pains. Get out of bed, and your back cracks more than the what's that called? That cereal? What's that called? Rice Krispies. You know what I'm talking about? How they snap, crackle, pop, all that. Your body does more like that. It just can't recover as quickly as you used to. You know what I mean? That's what I'm dealing with now. Do you remember us holding hands in each other's eyes? We'd stare. Tell me. Some of you used to be like real mushy, ushy, gushy with somebody, or you really like that. if this is anyone new, maybe you're reminiscing about when your heart used to be real open. This hair is sticking to me. I'm gonna turn this fan off. Anyway, if this don't have nothing to do and you're like, this don't make any sense, you could just be single as hell like myself, and you could just be where you're like reminiscing about when your heart used to be real open before you put up a barrier from it being stabbed so many times, it being your heart, right? You know, where you just like, before you got to how you are right now. Boy, I am fucking in pain. And you know, where you had to protect yourself. You reminisce about how you used to love, and you know, love openly and recklessly, and throw caution to the wind and drop all your defenses. When you used to love like that, freely and openly, and just without fear. You know, do you remember those times? Because I don't remember that either. No, I do. I remember when I used to love like that. Part of me is like glad I'm not like that anymore. And then part of me kind of is like, man, I don't know. Will I ever be like that again? Probably not. I probably won't. I'm not saying I miss that me, but because, well, none of it was ever real. If it would have ended up being real, I mean, then, you know, I don't know. Some of you may have wondered if somebody's love was ever real, and you may be surprised to find out that they're actually reminiscing about the way things used to be with you. Vice versa, you could find yourself doing this. But yeah, let's go back to this. Sorry. Do you remember how we used to talk? Some of you used to talk all night. Man, we're going way back, huh? Some of you used to talk all night on the phone, stay up, fall asleep on the phone. Some of you, maybe it wasn't even that long ago this happened, but some of you, it could have been a real long time ago. Falling asleep on the phone, where y'all end up talking in your sleep. I remember one time I had a boyfriend tell me that. Yeah, he was my first love, and he was like, and there was nothing wrong with him. Like, most people regret their first love or something. I've heard that a lot, actually, but I don't regret my first love. He was fine, and he really protected me. In fact, he protected me in a lot more ways than one. My first love told me one time we fell asleep on the phone together when we were young, and he was like, you know, you talked in your sleep last night on the phone. And I'm like, did I? And this was like when phones were just coming out. Y'all know? This was like when phones were just coming out, when you had to like pay to text, you know what I mean? And then like you only had so much data or something. Like flip phones and the Blackberries. I don't even think we had a Blackberry. It was like literally a flip phone, and your case like snapped on. You know what I'm talking about? Mine was like a pink case with skulls or something like that. And they were so cheap, the paint wore off. It was so ugly. Anyway, so we would stay on the phone, and he said the next day that I said something like, these fries aren't hot, in the middle of my sleep. He was like, what? But I was sleeping. I mean, I'm talking, I would have allergic reactions. I think he had cats or something. I don't know. One time I pet a cat and I was around him, and I think we were at my mom's, but I don't know how that could be because we didn't have cats growing up. We had dogs. Anyways, and I remember like having a real bad allergic reaction, and I'm pretty sure you picked that like gunk out of my eye. You know when you like pick the like gunk out of your eye? Now that's love, okay? That's only a cancer will do that. You don't have to be a cancer watching this, but that's love, you know, talk about nurture. Guy cancers nurture as well. Woman cancers, any water sign, but you know, people, you can be anybody and be real nurturing, but I just remember that about him. And I'm talking, he picked that gunk out of my eye. You know when you get the strings out of your eye? It's really disgusting. It's like ice knot strings. He got that out. And then when I used to have like real bad periods from having cysts, like ovarian cyst or whatever, I'm talking excruciating periods, he would carry me. He would literally carry me. And one time I couldn't even get a tampon in. He had to help me get a tampon in. TMI, but I'm dead fucking serious right now. Like, that's how much. And his mama was amazing too. So you could tell he was a good guy because his mama was amazing. Anyway, so yeah, some of y'all talk about reminiscing. Someone's really reminiscing about some shit, especially if y'all grew up together, or y'all have a lot of first times together, or real deep experiences. You think somebody's forgotten that shit? They haven't forgotten a damn bit of it. Especially if you're still with them, but you don't even gotta be with them, because I feel like there's a barrier up. You guys haven't even seen each other. You haven't seen each other. You haven't seen each other, haven't spoken to each other, nothing. Like, I'm talking, this person still remembers everything about you. They remember the way that you lay. They remember the things that you like, the food you don't like. They remember you sitting on top of the countertop. Like, I'm talking, I'm reminiscing right now. They remember everything. Right? Yeah. And they wonder, like, what would life look like had the two of y'all ended up together? Or if y'all did end up together, what would it look like if y'all stayed together? And if y'all are still together, this is someone who's like, man, I wish we could go back because I miss the way we were. Like, you're still my baby, no matter what. I hate where we are right now in our relationship because you've been my baby this whole time. You're my love, the love of my life, man or woman. If this is someone new, you know, either you yourself are thinking this, period, single as a Pringle, or someone new is thinking, I wish you'd let your barriers down. I wish you would love, at least give me a chance the way that you've given the wrong people chances. But I understand why you don't. Or this could be someone thinking themselves, I wish that I could love the way that I used to love before. And will I ever get back to that place? I don't really know, because I'm actually real cute when I think I love somebody. Or when I do love them, but they don't love me back. I'm really cute. Little toxic, you know, because I'm a little much, a little codependent. I'm talking from myself. Very codependent and very mushy and super PDA because I love PDA. I love PDA. I love it. I love PDA. I love physical affection. I love kissing, all those things. Well, not anymore because I'm completely damaged. Just being honest. Anyway, let's get back to this. Do you remember back in the spring, every morning birds would sing? Do you remember those special times? They'll just go on and on in the back of my mind. Like, you think I'm going to forget you? You think I'm going to forget this? Or if this is someone single as a Pringle, I'm not going to forget how I was. Like, those were really important moments in my life, and hopefully it meant something to somebody who ended up with me at one point. I'm not sure any of them ever really gave a fuck about how much I loved them. But hopefully one person, if only one person, can look back and think about how I used to be when I would open my heart. They'd be like, you know what? That girl, that guy, whoever, that cancer cross watcher, you know, that person did treat me real nice. Wasn't perfect, but that person's got a real big heart. And they did love me. If just one person, you know? Because let me know that all the love I gave all these fucking people before wasn't just wasted, you know? Those sweet memories will always be dear to me. And girl, no matter what was said, I will never forget what we had now, baby. This is someone saying I'm still in love with you, okay? Or are you still in love with someone? You know, if you're still with them, yeah, you guys still love each other. It's not perfect now, and yeah, there's been some rough things, but you guys still love each other. If you're single or whatever, single as a Pringle, ain't talking to nobody, nothing, I'm telling you right now, somebody here is still in love with you from the past. You might not want to hear it, but they are. No, they might not ever even tell you. So what good is even knowing that? Because seriously, that's what I feel. Like, what's good even hearing that if you don't hear it from the person? Like, why? That's just torture. Or you're still in love with somebody and you're just not realizing it. Like, damn, I'm always going to be in love with that girl or that guy. Yeah, I'm always going to be in love with the person. Like, I don't regret them. You know, you look back on some of them and you're like, God, what the fuck was I thinking? Shit, that was definitely the traumatic side of me. That was abandonment issues right there. And that was, you can just pinpoint it. That was addiction that chose that one. But then sometimes you look back and you're like, nah, you know, I don't regret that one. We had our things and it wasn't always perfect, but I really don't regret that one. Unless it's just someone who was only with the same person forever. But in my case, I can look back and some of them I'm like, you know, especially, like, I don't regret my first. A lot of people do. I don't. And we lost it to each other, which made it really important, you know. Some people don't matter to them, and that's fine, because to each their own. But to me, that really mattered. That was something really special. Well, at least he told me he lost it to me. Who knows? He might not have, but it was clear that I did. I mean, I was like, that's some traumatic shit right there. I mean, not traumatic. He made sure it wasn't traumatic. Here I go reminiscing again. You see what I'm saying? But, yeah, like the way that's pretty painful. That's took me like in the first, I don't even know. Are we really talking about virginity right now? Wow. Like, I talk about a lot of stuff. But I'm not sure I ever talked about when I popped my cherry. That's fucking... Okay. Let me get off that. So yeah, so talk about someone reminiscing. They going way back. Way back. Whether or not you gave it to them first or whatever. Remember the time in the park? Remember the time after dark? Do you remember the time? Listen. Yeah, the fantasizing about it. You think about it, they think about it, you both think about it, even if y'all aren't in contact. And it's almost like someone here is either, I hope so, going to let another know, hey, I'm still thinking about you. You know I still love you, right? You know, I still remember literally everything on like yesterday, as if it was yesterday. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it was like a year ago, or 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 2 years ago now. I don't know, or 15, 20 fucking years ago. But either way, you know, this could also just be a single message where one person here is reminiscing on their own life and their own encounters that they've had with certain people, you or another, thinking, there was some I don't, you know, I didn't hate it. It wasn't too bad. It was actually really good. I wonder what life would look like now had we made just different moves. But not necessarily living in regret, but just almost like sweetly thinking of it. You know? Not like beating oneself up like, oh my God, but just kind of like, Like, this is someone who's got a very photographic memory and can straight up like picture everything. The front porch, how the door would latch or not latch for that matter, how dark it was in the house or how light it was, how cold that bitch would get in the winter, you know what I mean? All the like, you know, the things we had as kids on the walls, like we had street signs and stuff, you know, street signs, and then like the red light, green light, red light, you know, street light, somebody had a street light or a lava lamps, things like that back in the day, or like posters up of Pamela Anderson and, you know, whoever, Carmen Electra, or what's her name? Some people had J-Lo back in the day. Yeah, they did. J-Lo, and who else was it? Lots of different people. You know, they'd have the like magazines they weren't supposed to have that they got from their friends or took from their dad's rooms or something like that, hid them under the mattress, hid shit in the floor, you know what I mean? Now, not everybody did that, but some people did that. Not that I had brothers and I found their stash. God. If you want to go looking, you go and find something, you know, especially if you got brothers living in the house or whatever. You gonna find some stuff. Yeah, but you remember back in the day we had things like that? We had those Walkmans. You know, you carried them everywhere, put your little CDs in them. Mine was like puke green. It was. Yeah, puke green. It had like the parachute pants and stuff. I asked my daughter, I'm like, oh, by the way, I found out they still do senior superlatives. You know, I was talking about that not long ago. I wondered if schools still do that, because I just really don't like that, even though I just really don't like, that's just my opinion. But to each their own, everybody can do their own thing. I just really feel like, that's very, I just don't like that. I feel like that really singles out other children in schools, and it makes them feel like they're not most likely to succeed because they didn't make the senior superlative, and it's like, I don't know, I just don't like that. I don't like that. And that's coming from a girl who made a senior superlative, and I wasn't even popular. Like, the fuck. In fact, I was made fun of a lot because I was just like a boy. I was like a boy. But anyway, I was just really destructive and didn't care what anybody thought. Really, even though I thought whatever. Apparently I did care what people thought, even though back in the day it looked like I didn't, but I did. Now I really don't give a fuck. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, school, back in the day. Oh yeah, so I was asking my daughter, and I was like, are there not like goths anymore? And she was like, no, not really. I mean, there's like emos and stuff like that. I'm like, really? I mean, I don't know. I really like got the goths. I understood the goths, and like, well, I understood everybody, different groups of people, but I really got them, and I often would like I just enjoyed their aesthetic. I enjoyed how they carried themselves, and that was like kind of my first boyfriend was like that. Just kind of dark, you know? Yeah. And then the way that you describe how you're feeling and your emotions whenever you're really upset with your girlfriend or boyfriend, and you send them this song by Slipknot called Snuff. Is that what it's called? Or Vermilion. That's what he would send me. Vermilion 2. She's a myth that I have to believe in. All I need to make her real is one more reason. It's like, are you trying to say, I see you? Are you throwing shade at me through a song? Are you throwing shade at me through sending me a song? Well, I got one for you too. Okay? It's called Womanizer, Womanizer, you're a womanizer. You are Womanizer, Womanizer, Womanizer. Boy, don't try to, know just what you are. Boy, don't try to, just. You, womanizer, womanizer, womanizer. Those are the days. Or like NSYNC, you know. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Everybody, yeah, rock your body. I went way over. Yeah, everybody. Except for some of us didn't like that. We liked the more emotional, like, Lizzie, don't wanna lock me up inside. Lizzie, don't wanna forget how it feels when I'm... Yeah, I was obsessed with her. Still am. Anyways, boy, I'm reminiscing. What is going on? Someone here is like straight up reminiscing about their high school days, their college years. You know, Lips of an Angel, which is a whole song about cheating. This is just, I'm just gonna sit here and reminisce with you guys. I feel like, well, yes, you know, shows were back then, they were way better. Clarissa Explains It All, Salute Your Shorts. Was that Budnick and all that? What's all the other ones? All that. This is all that. Oh, MTV. That was way better back in the day. Who didn't love MTV? Loved it. There were so many other things too, like things you weren't supposed to watch at night, but you'd watch anyway, or you'd watch at a friend's house because your parents were too strict or something like that, you know? Or, you know, you'd skip school. Remember those days? God, what a dumbass. I wish I just would have went. Why didn't I just go? I mean, it was fun spending time with him and all, you know, the first love, but why didn't I just pay attention? Seriously, though. It's not like it's that long. When you're in it, it feels like it lasts forever. But if you just get through it, you know what I mean? Because ultimately, then what? You don't even end up with the person, and then you end up dumber because you didn't pay attention. You know, now some of the shit they teach us is just ridiculous. We don't even need it. But some of the stuff like foreign language, I could have used that. You know? Lots of things. But my dumb ass was just like, boys, friends, love. Some of y'all gonna be real hard on yourself. You're just gonna be hard on yourself. Like, you know what? I wish I would have applied myself. I wish I would have applied myself. Alright, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for being here with me and reminiscing with me today. And I'll talk to you later. This is why I had to delete the other video, because this was the one you were meant to get. Talk to you later. Bye.